Okay, so this is my Slate Trigger Midi Workflow in Studio One. So I'm adding an instrument track, and then I'm adding 2 stereo audio tracks. Step 2, I'm going to name the tracks. Step 3, I'm going to add the MIDI to the MIDI track. Step 4, I'm going to add Slate Trigger as an insert on the first audio track. Next, I'm going to go into the settings of Trigger and specify which note I want to trigger the sample. Then I'm going to set the MIDI output of that instrument track to trigger. And next, I'm going to go back into Trigger and choose a sample. I'll start playback just to make sure it's triggering correctly. So now that that's working, all I need to do is set the input of the record track to trigger. I'll arm the record track and I can start recording. Okay, and this is the macro version of the workflow. So I click the macro button and it creates 3 tracks for me automatically. The MIDI track, the slate track, and the record track. All I have to do is set the inputs and outputs, and I am good to go. Okay, so here's a quick look at the macro. What I'm doing here is I am copying and pasting the MIDI to a new instrument track, naming that, and I'm adding 2 audio tracks. I'm instantiating Slate Trigger on one of them, and then I'm good to go. All I need to do is set the inputs and outputs.